Welcome, everybody. This is the Rotary eClub of Silicon Valley. Every week, we bring you programs that we hope will inspire you. We typically center on the themes of innovation, education, and entrepreneurship. And as a Rotary Club, we're interested in service in all its forms. And so this week, we have, speaking with us, Danielle Pabilona. She is a student at Laney University and has a wonderful history of work in high school, both with her Interact Club and also with the Girls Who Code program. And the Girls Who Code program is going to be the topic of her presentation today. So with that, I will hand it over to Danielle. Danielle, cheers.
Hey, hello. So let me share this and we can all start. Awesome. Okay. So hello, everyone. My name is Danielle Pabilona, and I'm going to be talking to you all today about Girls Who Code. So before we dive into depth about the organization, I'll briefly reintroduce myself. Okay, so currently I am a freshman majoring in computer science at Laney College in Oakland. And through my journey to college, Girls Who Code has had such a significant impact on me. And during those 2 years, I'm proud to admit that, if anything, Girls Who Code has truly helped me recognize that computer science is something that I was passionate about, and this is something that I wanted to do, and I was just set with it. Prior to my senior year, I was a student of the summer immersion program at Pixar Animation Studios with 18 other girls of very diverse backgrounds. And during that opportunity, I was able to polish my programming skills, learn different computing languages, and network with the many employees of Pixar. I loved every bit of the opportunity, not because it was just Pixar or because I had so much free food, but because I truly gained skills necessary for the future in the tech industry. So this summer, I took advantage of the opportunity to become a teacher assistant. I applied, interviewed, and was shortly hired for the summer program at Facebook in Menlo Park. Transitioning from a student to a teacher was definitely a strange yet beautiful process. Being able to instill growth with the girls and see them produce something that they never thought they would be able to do was the most rewarding part of the program. Seeing girls struggle to figure out a problem, yet celebrate with a small little dance, or remember with a small little dance. It's just a friendly reminder of why I wanted to come back and help out with this program. So if it wasn't for that organization, its values, mission, and experience that I have gained from it, I definitely wouldn't have come back to become a teacher assistant. And after all, this program has shown me that us girls can break those awful stigmas and code projects to inspire those around us. So without a doubt, there's definitely a problem at hand. Computing skills are the most sought out in the US job market because inevitably computing is where the jobs are as they make up our future. But the problem is, where is the representation of females in STEM? So extensive research has shown that women in the computing workforce has declined from about 37% in 1995 to about 18% today. As Resma Stojani has once said during her TED Talk, it is evident that we're raising our girls to be perfect and raising our boys to be brave. The bravery deficit created shows why women are underrepresented in STEM. And although generally the interest in computer science declines over time, the largest drop happens between the ages of 13 to 17. If you look at the graph, you'll notice that the percentage of females interested in computer science declines from about 66 to 4%, meaning by 2020, if of the 1.4 million jobs available and ready for those in computing, only about 3% of women fill up those positions, while the rest goes to male graduates. These numbers display the tragic truth of the poor representation of women, especially those of diverse backgrounds. A solution to that problem? Girls Who Code. So Girls Who Code is a nonprofit organization that was founded by Reshma Sujani in 2012 in New York. Although these girls are taught the fundamentals of web design, computer science, and robotics, what's most important is that they learn something more than code: sisterhood, bravery, and perseverance to push through all challenges faced along the way together as a sisterhood. Girls will learn how to collaboratively solve various challenges, and these girls will learn how to persevere together. Ooh. Yeah, sorry. So the mission states that the Girls Who Code works to inspire, educate, and equip girls with the computing skills to pursue the 21st century skills, meaning that through this program, the girls are taught skills that are necessary for being hired at tech industries. Evidently, this organization works towards closing that awful gender gap we had talked about in the previous slides. So girls are taught various lessons on the fundamentals of computing languages through project-based learning. No matter what background she may come from, Girls Who Code wants to empower these young women to accomplish more. Notably, the many girls who participate in Girls Who Code programs come from different religious, financial, ethnic, racial, and cultural diverse backgrounds. And that's the beautiful part of it all. There are 2 programs that girls from 6th to 12th grade may take advantage of in all 50 states. So these include clubs and the summer immersion program. And it is noted that both these programs are absolutely free. The clubs program is open to students from 6th to 12th grade and oftentimes revolve around the school year. There's no application required. Girls are just prompted to attend the club after school of select days for about 2 hours or so. And whether the club may be in a library, school, community center, girls can find out their nearest club on the Girls Who Code website. So in order to start a Girls Who Code club program, the president or the starter of the club must have completed the summer immersion program. The students who lead the program may teach the lessons, but it's also recommended to reach out and invite someone who works in the tech industry to see if they're able to teach a new lesson or so. Now, the summer immersion program, this opportunity is focused from 10th to 12th graders. Students who are graduating high school are not allowed to join. However, they're able to contribute to the organization by volunteering. The summer immersion program is a free 7-week program that requires students to apply. Mostly, the questions ask if the student has had experience prior to the program, like what they want to seek from the program, and simple questions about their family income. The reasons why the organization asked about this information is because Girls Who Code wants to make sure that low-income students are prioritized and granted a spot for the summer immersion program. During the 7 weeks, food, transportation, and goodies are absolutely provided for. If needed, students are able to request for a stipend to cover additional traveling expenses. The classroom for the SIP program takes place in leading technology companies such as Facebook, Twitter, Accenture, etc. Girls are prompted to attend class from Monday to Friday from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. The students will be able to attend field trips, have guest speakers, learn about the fundamentals of programming, and implement what they have learned into a final project that they must show at graduation. So each program will have a graduation at the end, and groups of students will be able to present a project that they have programmed from scratch in front of their loved ones. Here are some notable projects that were produced by Girls Who Code students after their 7-week program. So like Tampon Run, a running game that destigmatizes menstruation cycles by shooting tampons at enemies. The Gap Jumper, which is a game that shows what it's like to educate people about the wage gap for women. So by the end of the game, of the money that you have collected, money is taken away from you because it just shows how women are simply paid less. Now, through the various programs, Girls Who Code, girls are able to produce meaningful projects that focus on creating lasting impact in their communities. There are hundreds of thousands of alumni in this sisterhood, and through this organization, the amount of women in tech grows tremendously. Towards the end of the program, the girls are invited to join Hire Me, which is the app that connects Girls Who Code alumni with many large tech companies who have pledged to hire these students. The many programs that this organization offers are extremely beneficial to the girls and their futures, and I truly wish that every female high school student, at least once in their lifetime, takes advantage of attending a club meeting or joining a summer program. For their small contribution, it helps work towards a larger goal, and that is more female representation in the tech industry. Thank you.
All right. Very, very nice. Cool. So Danielle, I have got a host of questions, and
Yay!
Chris does as well. First, I want to introduce those of us who are on the call. In addition to Danielle, we have Chris Cochran, part of the charter group that launched the eClub of Silicon Valley. He is in Ontario in Canada.
Nice.
My name is Rushton Hurley. I am the charter president of the club, and while I live in the Bay Area, I'm currently in Chicago after working with some folks here in Illinois. So just a question that I want to get to before I forget to ask, and then I'll hand it over to Chris for his first question. So let's say that there's a Rotarian watching this program from a place like Magnolia, Arkansas, or Muhammad, Illinois, or Brockville, Ontario. One of these places where it's clearly not. It's not a tech hub, right? And what they want is they know some students maybe at their local high school, that maybe they're in the Interact Club, and they're like, oh, this kid would be perfect. What is it that they go through? So you talked about having to apply to be part of the summer program. Is that something where there's like an online application, and if they're successful, all of the expenses are covered in terms of getting to a place where it is and going through it and all? I mean, how does that work?
Oh, yeah. Okay. So for the summer program, students are, of course, prompted to apply online. And once they are kind of accepted, and it's not much of a lengthy process. They send in an application, and within about like a few weeks or so, they should be getting a response from the Girls Who Code organization stating a program that is nearest to them, or which they have selected is closest to their area. And they usually recognize what is closest and give it to the student. Afterwards, they send you a bunch of emails about the logistics of the program, such as how to get there, how to get there, and just a heads up of, oh yeah, like food is covered, because at these hosted classrooms, food is provided, the laptops are provided, everything is there for the students, because money shouldn't be an issue to learn something that women are truly passionate about or are interested in. So they want to make sure that they have to pay for absolutely nothing. If it's a little too far for a student to head to, like say their classroom's a bit too far, Girls Who Code can offer a flexible stipend to the student. So yeah, it's definitely awesome.
So it is the case that someone in a remote part of the country could participate in this.
Yeah.
Awesome. Very cool. Go ahead and stop the screen share for a minute, and we'll kind of bring all of our faces into view, which is kind of questionable for me and Chris, but all good from.
Oh, it's right there. I didn't do that.
No worries at all. Okay. So Chris, why don't you pop in? What struck you about the presentation?
I'm not sure at what point I popped in. I assumed
right at the beginning.
Near the beginning, yeah. I got the new link a little bit late, but anyways, I noticed you said something about the drop in women who are interested in high school. I think it goes from 66% to 4%. And that happens in late teenage years. Why, in your opinion, does that happen?
As I said during my presentation, which is also from Reshma Sujani, who's the founder of Girls Who Code, she had a TED Talk that was actually about teaching girls bravery, because it's pretty evident that girls growing up are taught to be perfect. You can't do this, you can't do that, but boys are taught to be brave. Like they can do anything that.
Come live in Canada, you'll find just the opposite.
Okay.
I'm serious, because here this what you're doing. This is great. Okay, it works for you, and it's fabulous. I assume somebody from another country, like I'm in Canada, or if somebody in England or somebody in Australia wanted to join or come to this, I'm assuming they could, assuming they qualify. Well, here I'm concerned that what you do creates rifts in society rather than inclusion. It's very much here. I mean, our society up here is about inclusion, everybody doing everything, rather than segmenting, saying that's just for men, that's just for women, that's just for kids, etc. So how do you try and make this inclusive so that, it helps everyone?
So there are plenty of, I personally believe that this program was made especially for girls, not because like there's an inclusion issue or anything, but it's just that women are very much underrepresented in computer science, and it's pretty like there's many computer science programs that are male dominant, and I think that having a Girls Who Code organization creates such a safe space and a sisterhood for girls to feel comfortable in learning without being reminded of these awful stigmas of women can't code, or they shouldn't be on the computer. And I think Girls Who Code is just a safe space, and it's totally inclusive of many girls of different background. Of course, they don't discriminate against male applicants, but this program is focused towards improving that gender gap.
So
Yeah,
when I think about the work I've done as a teacher, and especially thinking about the contention, that Saujani put forward about that difference between girls needing to be perfect and boys needing to be brave, that to me really captures the idea well. Like when I think about all of the students that I've had as a high school teacher, that just captures the idea. And so by the time you get to high school, I mean, girls are kind of in that space of like, let's wait and see, as opposed to jump in and try. And I think that may be more of an American thing, and that's to our detriment, right? So to me, very cool that such a program is available, for sure, because there's certainly loads of programs going on for everybody. So another piece about this, by the way, while we mentioned that TED Talk, so do you know? I mean, obviously there are these numbers, right? We look at things like the interest in STEM fields that girls had in the early 80s, and kind of how they were, what kind of numbers we had in terms of that. You look at the declining numbers as girls grow older. Separate from those numbers, was there something that Sujani or perhaps you experienced at some point, just kind of at a personal level, that made you think, oh man, this is for me, or that made her think, oh my God, this program has to happen?
Oh yeah, I can talk from my own personal experience. So I had wanted to apply for a computer science class at my high school, and I thought that, okay, maybe if I take this class, I probably can just do a different internship over the summer, not do Girls Who Code. So as I went to go meet the teacher, I noticed that a lot of the students, like I was very much introduced by all the males in the classroom. So I had talked to the teacher and he said, hi, my name is Danielle. I'm very much interested in taking this class next year. I just wanted to know, what were you teaching, and how does your classroom look like? And my teacher was really surprised that I came up to him. He was just like, oh, you wanted to do computer science. And I was just so appalled. I was like, oh my God, like what? I am really interested in this. And I don't see why that should be an issue. And he's like, oh yeah, we don't usually have a lot of girls apply. But if you want, I have like a free period, like next year I'm taking like AP Comp Sci, but you might want to take introduction to computer science. And I was like, no, I have enough knowledge of computer science. Like I'm a self-taught programmer. I can take an AP Comp Sci class. And he was just telling me, no, you should definitely take introduction to computer science. And I was just so appalled. And I just knew that, okay, forget that. I am going to do a Girls Who Code program, put my all into that application, and get something so much more than that experience that I had with that teacher. Yeah.
Yeah, I love that you persevered, right? It's one of the words that came up, as you talk about the nature of the program, what we're trying to, help people see. I think grit is one of those words that comes up a lot, right? For any of our Rotarians watching this who are thinking, oh my God, is this happening in schools near me? Or are there teachers who are looking at girls saying, are you sure you want to? You're a girl, or whatever flavor of that thought might be out there. One of the things that you may know, because, not everybody has kind of the same, kind of get involved that Danielle may have, that sometimes you can say, okay, well, I'm going to take a class at the local college or the local community college in computer science. So that's a great move as well, in part because it will teach a teen, actually, whether a girl or a boy, it'll teach a teen that you can succeed in a college environment, which is really important, because a lot of kids, look at college as this thing that's like, oh my God, can I, this kind of thing. But if you're like, no, I want to learn computer programming, and you take that class at a college and you discover, hey, I can do all of this as well. That's really good for competitive colleges to understand that a student has had success in a college environment before. It's actually one of the very top things competitive colleges look for. Do you already have any kind of college transcript? So that's a cool thing to have there. Mm-hmm. So as you begin to think about, kind of what you want to do going forward with this, right? Like, what are some of the things for you? You've still got several years of college. Mm-hmm. You're, I assume, quite hopeful that one of these companies might be a good match for you on the other end. But as you think about that, it's not just about working at that college. Yeah. What is it you want to do with this?
With the knowledge that I gained from Girls Who Code? Yeah. Just from my first year of doing Girls Who Code, since I was exposed to the many wonders of computer science and digital art at Pixar, it just really, I took it very personal. It was just like, oh my gosh, I am in love with graphic design, and I love programming. So I wanted to see if I can do something with the two. So I've actually been looking through a bunch of internships or a bunch of free programs that I can do to kind of learn more about how I can make 3D animation, do video game programming, because it's something that I think Girls Who Code is although most of the applications that I've applied to are oh, you must be at least this much or this old, X amount of old. I think that despite what age I may be, just shooting for that opportunity is just the best that I've got. And Girls Who Code has definitely taught me that it's okay to be brave and just try new things, because you'll never know what happens. That's just me taking my big shot and trying to see what I can learn from. So,
very nice.
Yeah.
Any other comments or questions from Chris or Ken, who's joined us? Very cool.
I would just add one comment. The fact you want to go into graphic arts and animation, that's great, because I'm a filmmaker, having been in the business my entire life with my own company, working in places from Toronto to Hollywood. And believe me, good place for you would be someplace like the Skywalker Ranch. Right up your alley. They're leading the world right now in 3D animation.
Oh, thank you.
Okay. If they offer anything, go for it. Because that's the place for that particular thing that you'd like to do or explore, that they're the best right now, bar none.
Thank you. I'm gonna write that down.
Yeah. And by the way, for anyone watching, if there is a teacher sharing this particular recording with his or her class, Chris's advice there is huge, right? Like what did it boil down to? It's that message of, if they offer something, go for it, right? Because so often people look at it and go, oh, that would be cool, and then they don't actually act, right? And sometimes they need a little encouragement. Teachers, you can be the encouragers. And yeah, just give it a shot, because you never know. And if they say no, you tried, whatever. Find another one and try for that. All good. So cool. Anything else? Like Ken, thank you for joining us. Do you have something? Or Chris, did you have another comment? Or anything else we're gonna have there before we wind things down?
No, I just joined in. I'm sorry I'm late. I'll talk to her after the recording.
Okay, all good. Ken, thanks for joining us, for sure. So Danielle, what I want to do is I want to wind down our recording. I'll do some logistical things, and then I'll ask you for any final thoughts before we stop the recording piece of this. Of course, as always, all of us who are on the call at the moment can continue talking with the speaker, which is a great fun piece of getting involved with these recordings. But for all folks who are participating right now, both our members and our guests, please let us know you were here. Members, as always, that reports your attendance, and that's critical. Guests, by doing everything properly at the attendance piece and getting your email address in there, you'll get an email that you can share with your club secretary, so that can serve as a makeup for any missed meeting that you may have. We are always happy to have guests. We hope that you'll share your thoughts in our Discuss system at the bottom as well, DISQUS. And down there, you may have a question for Danielle. Pop it in there. If she has time the week that this recording is the program for our club, she can come in and perhaps answer. We never require that of speakers, of course. People are busy, but if she has the chance, she'll do it, and we may even have that conversation with each other about the cool things we're seeing. Finally, I'd like to say that our club is one designed to really explore what the possibilities of technology are for service. How can technology serve the business of service? And so we thank you for joining us this week to kind of see how we're going about that. We hope that this is the kind of effort that can bring new things to Rotary and to service efforts all over the world. So to finish this off, Danielle, I'll give you the last word.
Oh, yeah, sure. So it's just something that I really wanted to reiterate that I've talked in my presentation. It's just what we can learn from the Girls Who Code program is just simply more than code. Girls Who Code, through the Girls Who Code program, we're not just teaching the girls how to be perfect, but to simply be brave and persist on. So, yeah.
Awesome. Everybody, we will see you next week. Thanks again.
Thank you.